Hello and welcome to the night sky. My name is Jim McParland. This is lesson 1 in astronomy. When you look up into the night sky, you are confronted with an absolutely amazing vista that runs from one horizon to the other. And if you're fortunate enough to be in a location where you are relatively free from the glare of artificial light, towns and cities, then an entire heavenly vista will open up in front of your eyes. You can see here that artificial light, the light of cities and towns, is very destructive to the viewing of the night sky, the stars of the night sky. But as you get away from the glare of a city, you can see that some of the stars become more visible. Indeed, the brightest of the stars can be seen from some cities and towns, but of course you don't see all of the stars. And when you get away from the glare, the night sky opens up, and more and more and more stars are revealed to you. Here's a panorama of the Milky Way. It was taken by Bruno Gilli of the ESO, the European Space Observatory, down in the Andes Mountains of Chile. And the next few slides show what the heavens look like in a little bit greater detail. And what you're looking at there is the Milky Way. In the northern hemisphere it's not as obvious as in the southern hemisphere, and that was looking right into the heart of the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is our galaxy, the galaxy in which we live. Now, of course, when you look at the night sky and you see all of these stars, there's a dilemma. How do you put some order into what is up there? How can you identify what you're looking at? For instance, when you look at this photo here, there are so many stars out there. And yet, over the years, patterns have been visualized and stars and constellations identified. Many people take pictures of the night sky. This photo here was taken by Alson Wong. But back before there were photographers and back before there was the artificial glare of light, early in mankind's history, there was very little in the way of nighttime light. There may have been cooking fires burning in an outside fire, or there may have been fires glowing from within a house, or there may have been some candles of some sort burning within a home. But generally speaking, the night sky was totally free from the glare and the destructiveness of artificial light. And so man could look up into the night sky thousands of years ago and see the stars, and see the stars unobstructed. And as a result of that, the night sky became a source of entertainment. And man was curious, and what they did is they would draw and they would record the positions of the stars. And thousands of individuals around the world would record the position of the night sky stars night after night, week after week, for centuries on end. And what they would do is they would take little rocks, and they'd, especially in the desert regions of the world, the Arabic astronomers would scrape off and make flat a beautiful area of sand, and then they would take some significant rocks and place those rocks onto the sand where each rock represented a star. And over time, their collection of rocks representing stars would increase. And eventually, they would have mapped the entire night sky. And every night they would compare the positions of these rocks with their stars. And where they would have to make slight adjustments, they would. But over time they found that their rocks perfectly represented the arrangement and the relative orientation of the stars of the night sky. And as they looked at the night sky, they observed that there were a few different features of the sky. There were a few different type of stars out there, if you will. There were the fixed stars, and these were the ones that never varied in position and never varied in their brightness. These could be counted on year after year after year to remain in that one position. And then there were these fiery-tailed objects that rarely, but regularly, streaked through the heavens, and they remained visible sometimes for months on end. And then all of a sudden, they would disappear. They'd be gone. And then there were the shooting stars. And these were stars that streaked across the night sky for a second or two, and then they would be gone. The odd time, the streaking star would last for 5, 6, 10 seconds, if you will, before burning up. And then on the even rarer occasion, you would have this streak of light through the night sky. It would become blinding, and then there would be a crashing to the ground. In the odd time, there would be a rock left behind in the spot where this streaking star smashed into the ground. And then early man observed that some of the stars didn't remain fixed in their position, and some of the stars didn't shoot across the sky like shooting stars, and some of them weren't irregular visitors to the night sky, but instead there were some stars that repeatedly, year after year and century after century, moved through the night sky in somewhat of an irregular pattern. You'd see these stars for a period of time, and then they would disappear. But then next year they would reappear again, or later on in the year. Now this chart here, if you look in this position, this shows the movement of Jupiter in the night sky in 2013. And this shows the movement of Jupiter in the night sky in the constellation Gemini in the year 2014. And early man observed the movement of these stars, if you will. So these are some of the things that early man saw, talked about, and recorded.